It's TED at the source, not just the symptoms. In a clinical study, more than 8 out of 10 patients taking Tepezza had less eye bulging. Tepezza is an infusion. Patients taking Tepezza may have infusion reactions. Tell your doctor right away if you experience high blood pressure, fast heartbeat, shortness of breath, or
You are viewing Iowa Public Television, a resource for Iowa's future.
Say hello to a new friend. This is Tinky Winky.
Funding for this program was provided by Friends of Iowa Public Television and our
Viewers like you.
support for Sesame Street is provided by Discovery Zone as our solution. Today in Lola, called Childhood, a place full of laughter, exploring, and learning. Support for Sesame Street is provided by Discovery Zone as our salute to a place called Childhood. A place full of laughter, exploring, and learning to be shared with moms and dads. Discovery Zone, celebrating childhood every day in Lola. Support for Sesame Street is provided by Discovery Zone as our salute to a place called Childhood. A place full of laughter.
Say hello to a new friend. This is Poe.
Funding for this program was provided by Friends of Iowa Public Television. 80,000 members supporting quality public television programming. Welcome to What Do I Do When I Get Mad? Now the listener becomes the DJ. My Nifty 50s on Sirius XM. I'm Roger from Miami Beach, Florida, and I am a huge 50s Gold fan. That was Johnny Be Good by Chuck Berry. I chose that song for the first of my Nifty 50s because of its instrumental part. That, my 50s Gold friends, is probably the best instrumentation in rock and roll. It could be the reason why Johnny Be Good was chosen to be the only rock and roll record sent into deep space on Voyagers 1 and 2, launched in 1977. The second of my Nifty 50s is a record that I purchased when it was new. The price then was $1, but that $1957 is the equivalent of $10.56 today. So that was a lot of money for an 11-year-old kid to spend, but it was worth it. The song became a top 40 hit in February 1957 and climbed the charts to become the number 2 song in the nation for 8 solid weeks. Now for you 50s Gold listeners, the Diamonds' biggest hit, Little Darling. That was the Diamonds' biggest hit, Little Darling. This is Roger from Miami Beach, Florida. But back in my college days, my radio name on Emory University's little campus radio station was the Student Prince. That station broadcast on only part of the Emory campus, but being on that little radio station was the highlight of my college days. I was a DJ on the station for several years, and from the fall of 1967 to the spring of 1968, when I graduated, I was the DJ for the weekly Oldies show, and you can bet that I was spinning stacks of 50s wax. Those years on that campus radio station were as sweet as they come. Now, thanks to Sirius XM, 50s Gold, and the Nifty 50s, I am back on the radio again, but this time it's the big time. A song by Buddy Holly would be included in most everyone's Nifty 50s. This one entered the top 40 in December 1957 and peaked at number 10. It was in the top 40 for 13 weeks. I selected it because, well, to use a 50s phrase which has become something of a rate the record cliche, it has a good beat and you can dance to it. I'll give it an 85. From Buddy Holly, it's Oh Boy. All of my love, all of my kissing, you don't. That was Buddy Holly's Oh Boy. You are rockin', rollin', and reminiscing with Roger on the radio from Miami Beach, Florida. Ever since my college graduation in 1968, I dreamed of being on the radio again, if only for a few minutes. Being behind a microphone and seeing that sign light up saying on the air is a thrill. Sirius XM, 50s Gold, and the Nifty 50s gave me that thrill again. And I thank them for making my dream come true. You can probably guess my fourth Nifty 50s song as soon as I tell you it is by Dion and the Belmonts. This blast from the past practically symbolizes the 50s. It became a top hit in April 1959, peaked at number 5, and stayed in the top 40 for 13 weeks. We 50s Gold fans know all the words to this song. Sing along if you want to Dion and the Belmonts, A Teenager in Love. That was Dion and the Belmonts, A Teenager in Love. This is Roger from Miami Beach, Florida. My Nifty 50s listeners deserve the best, and that is the king of rock and roll. As we 50s Gold fans know, that is Elvis Presley. When he peaked, he sold 10,000 records a day. At that time of RCA Victor's total annual record sales, half of them were by Elvis. The number one hit of the entire 1950s decade was Elvis's Hound Dog. But when it was released, the flip side of the record, Don't Be Cruel, was the A-side. When demand for Hound Dog exceeded Don't Be Cruel, RCA Victor put bigger letters for Hound Dog than Don't Be Cruel on the record's paper sleeve. In the early 60s, however, RCA designated both sides of the record as A. The record went platinum when platinum meant 2 million sales. It soon sold over 4 million more for quick total sales of over 6 million. Eventually, total global sales reached about 10 million. The record was number one for an astonishing 11 weeks. Elvis sang both sides of the record all 3 times that he was on the Ed Sullivan Show. The record is the only 45 record in rock and roll history where both sides became number one. And I, probably like you, purchased this record for $1 in 1956. My favorite Elvis song is the original A-side of this fantastic record. So again, with much thanks to Sirius XM, 50s Gold, and the Nifty 50s, this is the Student Prince signing off with Don't Be Cruel.
Which songs make your Nifty 50s list? Let us know. Email 50s@SiriusXM.com. And we'll be listening for you on 50s Gold.
You're listening to SiriusXM On Demand.
50s Gold on SiriusXM.